but that is not necessary if you don't have someone around to help facilitate. Step 2, you apply and hold full palm contact to the bottom of the feet, and your associate facilitator holds full palm contact to the shoulders, and you hold until you can feel an energy change. Now, for some people it may be just as simple as a temperature change in the bottom of the feet and the shoulders. Some, there'll be electrical impulse feeling like a heartbeat, and for others you might feel just a vibration, like a shimmering vibration. But there will be an energy change. You hold that until both you and your facilitating partner feel that equally. If you're doing it alone, then hold it until it feels even in both feet. And then that's when you know you're ready to go to step 3. First, I'm going to demonstrate the VitaFlex technique, which is very, very simple. You want to lay the fingers where they're on the pad, the finger pad itself, rolling very gently all the way over until the nails are touching the skin. And then you come back to the pad, roll over and onto the nails and back. This is the VitaFlex technique. Then once you start this, then just very slowly move a half a finger width as you go. When you're getting ready to start the VitaFlex on the feet and you're reaching for another oil, as you're letting go, never totally disconnect from your client that you're working on. So just real simple, you can place the foot against your thigh as you turn to take the cap off the bottle to apply your oils, and because you're applying to the right foot, the oils go in the left hand, 3 clockwise motions in the palm of the hand. It's like a palette. And now you're going to apply, starting with your index finger on the edge of the heel, and you're going to go follow that spine all the way up. Now I'm going to change my position here in the camera so you can see a little bit. And we want to go right along the inside of the foot. This is the spine region. And it's going to look like this. And you always apply the same application 3 times. Okay, and I'm going to come back around because it's really, really important that when you're applying this to your client that you always keep the flow of energy, your arm, in alignment with your client. So your right arm should be to the inside of the right leg. And then walk right up that spine region, all the way up and off the tip of the toe. If your fingertips get dry, come back and pick up the last of the oil that's in the palm of your hand and apply it till you've completed that application 3 times. If there's leftover oil, then just rub it on the bottom of the foot and you're ready to go to your next oil. Apply all 7 oils to that right foot before changing to the left foot. Now we're ready to go to the left foot. Same thing, apply 3 drops in your right hand as the palette, because your left hand now is the applicator, and applying right at the heel tip. And I'm standing off center from my client for the sake and the view of the camera. And you can see as I walk right up that spine region over the ball of the foot, my fingertips always stand right on the edge, right here. Come up all the way and off the big toe. Now as you're doing this, you'll need to remind yourself until you're familiar and comfortable with it to always come back to the pad of the fingers, roll over to the nails. Make that full roll. Okay, it's really important because it's just like a piston in an engine. As the piston comes to the top, it fires. When your fingertips are right on the very tip of the finger, that's when it fires and that electricity is sent through that person's body. Each oil is applied 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. And then you go to the next oil until you have applied all 7 oils. And at this point is when the facilitators assisting you can disconnect, because our client's going to be turning over on their face, and they can insert the headpiece into the table if you have one that's equipped. It just makes it a little more comfortable for them laying on their stomach. And always remember to protect their modesty, holding the sheet where they can turn, not exposing the body, and covering them. Bring your sheet down over the feet, because with the oils on the feet, it's really easy for them to get a little bit cool. Now we're ready to go to the back. So pulling the sheet down, taking a towel, laying over the arm and just kind of tucking that in at the side, just for modesty. You can have towels, especially if you're in a classroom environment where you're teaching, taking another towel, just placing it over the back side and the lower back, again just to protect the sheet, the clothing, and yourself from the oils, because there are oils that will stain clothing. Now we're going to start with oregano. And oregano, depending on the length of the spine, 2 to 4 drops. All right? And in this case, we have a client that's got a large spine, so we're going to do 4 drops. And be careful with your oils, because sometimes 2 drops will come out together, as they just did in this case. And then with very gentle, just barely the tips of your fingers just touching the skin, just like a feather. That's why it's called feather stroking. And 6-inch strokes, just coming up the spine, and then just keep moving up. And what happens is your fingertips you're stroking, you're spreading those oils along the spine. And everything is repeated 3 times. Now you want to watch for skin discoloration, because that will give you an indication of what's going on in that person's body. And after you've repeated that 3 times, then you're ready to go to time. Remember, as you're doing this, never break contact with your client. Always keep one hand or your leg in contact. Time, you can go 3 to 5 drops of time. Same thing. Nice 6-inch feather strokes, just barely touching the spine. Stay right on the spine and just work towards the neck and right to the hairline. Be conscious that you're not putting pressure. You just want the tips of the fingers just brushing that oil and brushing the spine. And as you can see, it spreads the oils very evenly, very nicely all along the spine. If it becomes uncomfortable and it starts to get red and uncomfortable for the client, then you can just take a vegetable oil, any vegetable oil. I prefer olive oil or virgin coconut oil, and then you can just put a few drops of that on, and then you can just take and massage that in the area. And you can see here we've applied oregano and thyme neat. There's no discoloration change, no discomfort whatsoever. But if there should be, just apply a little olive oil, rub it in the area, because in that amount of time the oils have already been absorbed into the tissues, into the nerve endings, into the bloodstream, and the job has been done. So it doesn't matter if you put a little vegetable oil on now. Step 5. Now we go to balsam fir, or Abies balsamea, and also basil. Now 6 to 10 drops is quite sufficient. If you get a little more of the balsam fir, that's okay. Very, very wonderful anti-inflammatory and muscle relaxer. So again, feather stroke to spread along the spine. And always repeat it 3 times. And then we're ready to go back to the deep tissue circular massage. And here we go into against the spine, right against the vertebra, and we go in a clockwise motion, and we go down deep and pull the muscle away from the spine and relax. Around, deep, and pull away and relax. Around and pull away and relax. And then just start sliding up. Now the oil also gives you a little lubricant there so you don't burn the skin with finger friction. And just work up. Remember, pressing down. Don't press on top of the spine. Never press on the spine. Always to the side of it. You're working the muscle not the vertical.